So, guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. So, guys, I promised I'd do a live today, and let's get it in. I ain't gonna do a too long one, but hopefully we can get it in. We can get it in. All right. So we've already got a couple of questions. Canelo is way too big for Mayweather right now. Mayweather could still fight at 147. Canelo touch 147 even if he ate the meat in Mexico. Now, Marrero pressure. How's it going, Naima? Hope you're well. Yep, Canelo didn't say that he's better. Canelo didn't say that he's gonna fight Mayweather right now. What he's saying is this version of Canelo, he feels that he would beat Mayweather. This version, what Canelo is now, his boxing IQ, his ability, that would beat Mayweather. That's what Canelo said. Naima, my fasting's going all right. Today was the first one, so yeah, it was all right. Wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad at all. Guys, get those questions in. Let's get those questions. Let's get this done. Get those questions in, guys, and smash the like button. Everyone in the live stream, smash the like button. The more, the better. All of you in the live stream, let's smash that like button and get those questions in. How's it going, Richard? I'm very well, thank you. I hope you're well. Canelo couldn't beat Mayweather any version, lol. No, Naima, to be honest with you, I think this version would give Mayweather a lot more trouble. I'm not saying he would beat him, because Mayweather was something special, weren't he? But I do think this version of Canelo would be more challenging, because I think Canelo right now is more confident within himself. He believes in himself, and this version of Canelo would be a lot more dangerous for sure, without question. I believe it would be more dangerous. But Mayweather's Mayweather. Mayweather was a genius. What do you guys think? Everyone in the live stream, what do you guys think? Do you think Mayweather would beat Canelo? You know, where he is today, right now, could he beat Mayweather? This version, I'm not sure. Force on Liam Williams' chances on Saturday really seems up for it. I think it's a hard one. Andrade's a very, very slick fighter, right? For me, he's the best. He's definitely one of the best out there. So I think it's going to be a very, very hard fight for Andrade, to be honest with you. I think the fight between Andrade and Liam Williams, I think Liam Williams is a very good fighter. I do think Liam Williams is not one to underestimate. If you're Andrade, you're definitely not going to underestimate that guy, because Liam Williams, he can really fight. I like Liam Williams. I think he's a very good fighter for sure. Without question, he can definitely fight. It's just whether he can get the job done against a very, very good Canelo, to be honest, because Canelo right now is a beast. It's going to be very difficult to beat Canelo. Andrade, sorry. I think it could be a 50-50 fight. Which one? Liam Williams or... Yeah, Liam Williams seems so improved and got power at middleweight. Yeah, but he hasn't fought anyone as good as Andrade, right? He hasn't fought anyone as good as Andrade. This is a this is a step up, a big step up as well, if that. So yeah, I think it's going to be a hard fight for Liam Williams, but who knows? Look, the guy is a good fighter. I think he's a little underrated, Williams. I think people are overlooking him. I think he's a better fighter than what people are gonna find out, that he's actually a much better fighter. The problem is Andrade, if he wins, he's not going to get any credit. But actually, in the UK, we know that he's a good fighter. He's definitely a good fighter. He can fight. So I'm looking forward to that one. I'm looking forward to Andrade v. Williams. Frank Warren apparently has said Fury AJ could be pushed back till August. Really? That's not good news, is it? I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about whether that fight's going to happen or not. Hopefully it does, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on. The Hungry Walker, hoping Canelo sends BJS into retirement. Why? Why would you want him to send him into retirement? I want to see Billy Joe fight, even if he loses again. Or if he loses to Canelo, I'd love to see him fight Eubank. The big D Delgado runner can't impose the rehydration clause this time, so Canelo will put him to sleep. I don't know. Mayweather is very hard to hit. Very, very hard. He didn't say he would beat Mayweather. All he said that it would be a different fight. Yeah. I think he did say I've put on that this version of Canelo would beat him. But I don't know. I don't know. It would be hard. It would be a much harder fight for Mayweather, for sure. Because this Canelo is it's a different mindset, different fight altogether. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. Mayweather was fighting a Canelo that was a lot. Canelo was a lot, what to say. He was a lot younger. He didn't have the experience he had now. Now he's fought a lot more great fighters. He's better placed to fight someone like Mayweather. Not to say he would win, but Canelo says he could beat Mayweather now, but he didn't say the same when they fought. I know Canelo's improved, but you can't beat someone you can't hit. Yeah, true. Mayweather's very hard to hit. He's just a different Mayweather's Mayweather, man. He's very, very difficult, very good elite fighter, Mayweather, special fighter. So yeah, I think it would be hard to beat Mayweather, to be honest. It doesn't matter how good you are. I think it would be hard to beat someone like Mayweather. Mayweather's something else. He is something else, Mayweather. So yeah, it would be hard to beat someone like a Floyd, if I'm totally honest with you. I think I wouldn't really. Yeah, but that's because he's lying, because he doesn't weigh 168 pounds and 196 pounds. There's no way Billy Joe's weighing 196 pounds. No way. Richard Brown, he didn't say he would beat Mayweather. He only said that it would be a different fight. Oh, Angel, okay, mate. Right, okay. Yeah, it would be a different fight. I think it would be a different fight as well. I think this version of Mayweather, this version of Canelo would be a much more difficult fight because he knows a lot more. He's a lot more experienced. So yeah, I would have to agree there. I think he would be a completely different fight, if I'm honest. That's just my take as well. I think this version is it's a completely different version. Let's get these sorted. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? How do you think it would? How do you think it would go? How do you think it would go? I'd love to know what your guys' opinion about this fight would be. Okay, share one sec. Copy link. Bradley, AJ trainer Rob McCracken is Olympic trainer. And for Tokyo, that's why they're questioning the dates, but I'm sure it will be worked around different level. Yeah, hopefully they get the fight on. I want to see the fight. To be honest with you. I'm getting a little frustrated with this Fury Joshua talk. Too much talk, not much action, to be honest. Too much talk, not much action. We need the fight on. We need to get it on. Hopefully they can get this sorted as soon as possible. But at the minute they're struggling. It seems like they're faffing around with a lot, but they're not getting. We need to get the fight on. We need to get the fight on. I want to see the fight. Okay, so Naima's asking, who would win between Felix Trinidad and Canelo in their primes? Canelo's a beast. I would have to favor Canelo in that one. Do you think Canelo body shots will slow BJS down? Yeah, I think so. I think Canelo's constant pressure, those body shots will wear Billy Joe Saunders down, but it depends. Can Billy Joe Saunders fight a disciplined fight for what? 12 rounds. It's going to be hard though, because Canelo, we know, is very, very strong. He punches very, very hard, and he breaks you down to the body. So it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be very, very tough. Everyone in the live stream, smash that like button. Smash that like button. Let's get those likes up. Okay, so keep getting those questions in as well. Smash the like button and get the questions. Canelo will beat Saunders. Yeah, I'd have to agree. I've been quite consistent with my breakdown of this fight that I think Canelo will beat Saunders. I think Saunders will give it his best, but I think he'll come up unstuck against a very, very sharp, tricky Canelo. Hard to say. It would have to be at Mayweather's weight, and Canelo has improved because he's now at a higher weight. His more natural weight, would he still? That's the thing. That's the reason why it's hard, because Canelo Alvarez was killing himself. I think he was doing it because he didn't want to go up to 160 and fight Golovkin, and he didn't want to fight Golovkin at that point because he knew Golovkin would be dangerous. So I think he was killing himself. So I don't know how much him making the weight that he was making was hurting him. Only he knows that. What you think about Canelo v Plant? I think that's a good fight. I think Plant's not got a huge punching power. I think he's a good boxer. He moves around. He's got good hand speed, foot speed. But I think Canelo again is just too good right now. I think he would beat Plant. I think he'll outbox him. But Plant could outbox Canelo. He's got fast feet, fast hands, but again, not much power. And Canelo again may start walking him down and start putting a lot of pressure on him. And that's the same thing with Saunders. Like, as soon as Canelo starts putting pressure on you, how are you going to react? Okay, it's more holding center and slipping shots, because once you're off back foot, Canelo will catch up. His pressure is different. Yeah, that's what I mean. His pressure will wear you down. It's the pressure. Do you think Khan will fight again? I don't know. I think he might fight Brook or Broner or someone like that. Name it, Sham. If this fight goes to distance in a close fight, Canelo always gets the decision. Exactly. Yeah, Canelo does get the decision. He does get the decision, but that though. You know that going into the fight, right? Billy Joe knows that going into the fight that Canelo gets the decision. So surely he should be prepared for that. He should be prepared. He knows that there's no excuses here. He knows what the score is. He knows that Canelo gets the close decision. So Billy Joe needs to put in a masterclass. He needs to outbox Canelo. He needs to, look to box Canelo's head off, which again, I don't see anyone boxing Canelo's head off. I think that's very difficult to do. What do you think of Prince Patel? I think you know what? His interview was brilliant. I saw the 30 minutes yesterday. I thought the interview with Coogan was. I think Coogan was a bit. How to put it? I think Coogan was like, he wasn't confident, was he? Like, doing that interview with him, like, you could tell at times he felt uncomfortable. But I think Prince Patel is a guy that could get a lot of views and a lot of ratings. He's right. I think a lot of people would watch him just to see him get beat. But I actually think if he's a good fighter, I haven't really seen much of him fight, much of his fights. But if he is a good fighter, he could do really well. I think he could do really, really well. And I'd like to see him in some big fights. Now, he was talking like he's ranked like number 3 in the WBO, and he's ranked very high in the governing bodies. If that's the case, right, that means he's a legitimate fighter. I would like to see him in there. I'd like to see him in there with some decent names. He was talking of some like Sonny Edwards and Kao Yafai. Why not? Prince Patel, as he says, equals ratings. You know what I mean? So I don't mind the guy. I think the guy's all right. I like to see him fight. I like to see him fight against some of the British guys. He's fighting in unknown places right now, like where we don't even know he's fighting. So yeah, hopefully they can get some promoter here can get hold of him and start promoting him. I think he could do some really good numbers. I think he could sell for sure. So hopefully they can get Prince Patel some fights here in the UK against some UK lads. I don't know why he's been fighting abroad. Why has he been fighting abroad in other countries? I don't understand that. Prince Patel is a Naz wannabe. Well, you know, everyone has an inspiration, and I think he's not bad. Did you watch any Rashidi Ellis, mate? If you haven't, I recommend you watch Alice Gomez one. It's only a first round fight. I will. I've not got time to watch him, Rashidi Ellis, but I'll definitely have a look into him. Andrade beats Williams. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a video about that soon. To be honest with you, about Andrade. I think it's a great fight. I actually think it's an underrated fight. I think Williams is going to give Andrade some issues. You know, if Andrade completely dominates Williams, man, I'll become a fan. Andrade at the minute, he just hasn't got, his resume is not great, but you know, he's looking for that big name. But unfortunately, a lot of guys look at him as high risk, low reward. But hopefully he can get in the ring with some of the top names, and we can start seeing Andrade fight some of the top guns. To be honest with you, I want to see him fight some of the top names. I want to see him fight some of the best guys. Munguia v Andrade, that's a good fight. Very good fight. Very, very good fight. I think that could be a testing fight for someone like Andrade. You know, Munguia is a very good fighter. Very good. You know, he brings the heat. He brings the heat. Everyone in the live stream, smash the like button, guys. Smash that like button. Everyone in the live stream, smash that like button. Everyone in here, smash that like button. All right, okay, so let's all right, okay, so yeah, Munguia v Andrade. Get those questions in, guys. Get those questions in. Get those questions in. Get those questions in, guys. Williams has improved a lot at Ingles Gym, and he's looking ripped and in shape now or never for Williams. Yeah, it's a great fight, man. It's a great fight. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great one. I think it should be a great one. I think it should be a fight where Williams can put some pressure on Andrade, and we maybe get to see how good Andrade is. I'm really intrigued. I'm really intrigued to see how this one plays out. I've always liked Williams. I thought Williams he's a good fighter, just a guy that's not really got the name, and he's got his opportunity to really burst onto that world scene, hasn't he? Let's see if he can do it. Bradley Doherty, everyone on Andrade record Williams will beat. I hope he pulls it. Will be a good good for British boxing. More belts in the UK. Everyone on Andrade's record Williams will beat. Possibly. You know, I'm not gonna deny that. Possibly. You know, he may well do. He may well beat everyone on his record, but you know, that doesn't mean he's gonna beat Andrade, because Andrade is a very, very skillful fighter, very skilled fighter. So yeah, I think Liam Williams is gonna be a very tough test. Is he gonna be able to beat an Andrade? Remember, Williams has come up from 154, but so has Andrade. Andrade isn't a natural middleweight. He's come up from 154 as well. I don't know if you guys remember Andrade's fight against Brian Rose. He did batter Brian Rose, by the way. He did batter him, but nevertheless, you know, he's a guy that's come up from 154 himself. Guys, smash the like button. Everybody in the live stream, smash the like button, guys. I'd appreciate if you all smash that like button. Smash the like button. Everyone in the live stream, smash that like button. Let's get those likes up. Smash the like button. Okay. So Naima says, I think Daniel Jacobs has lost it. Should retire. Doesn't look good in his last few fights. Last few fights? Who did he fight before Gabe Rosado? I'm pretty sure. Didn't he fight Selecki? He looked all right in that, didn't he? Daniel Jacobs didn't look good. A lot of people thought he lost against Rosado, didn't they? A lot of people thought that he shouldn't have got the Rosado victory. They thought Rosado was robbed. So yeah, Maybe Daniel Jacobs is past his best. Maybe Daniel Jacobs isn't the same man he once was. But I'd like to see Daniel Jacobs in the fight, maybe with Billy Joe, if Billy Joe was to lose to Canelo. There's some big fights to be made, guys. Some huge fights to be made. And unfortunately, we don't get these guys fighting one another. I would love to see all these guys fight one another. It definitely, we need to see all these fights, man. Canelo seems like he's fighting all the top guys, but what about all these other guys? Why aren't they mixing it with one another? The Hungry Walker, are you bored of the Fury AJ? Looks like it's all about money, not titles. Yeah, I'm bored, man. I'm really bored. I'm really, really bored with the Fury AJ stuff. Get the fight on. The fans want to see it. The fans want to see the fight. And these guys are faffing around. Get the fight on. Get the fight on, man. Do it for the fans. Give the fans that what they want to see, in these guys' prime. We want to see those two fight, and we're all tired of all the faffing about and all the messing around. Let's just get the fight on and give the fans what they want. It's a good fight. It's a great fight. And it's a fight that we all like to see. So let's get it on, man. Let's get it on. So what if Saunders v. Andrade happened? So Danny, that would have been a good fight. Now remember, that fight was meant to be made. If you remember, Danny, that fight was meant to be made, and Billy Joe failed a drugs test, which meant that he had to pull out. So yeah, I feel bad for Andrade, because that could have been Andrade's coming out party, the Saunders fight. But and having said that, Saunders could have beat Andrade as well. So that for me would have been a great fight, and that was one that I was looking forward to. Canelo is too strong. Possibly Canelo is a beast. No doubt about it. Naima Isham says, seems like Inoue has disappointed. Where has the monster gone? Well, the monster is still fighting. I think he's got a fight scheduled. I wanted to see him fight Casemiro, but that fight's gone down the wayside. I don't know what's happening with Inoue right now. I know he's got a fight scheduled. Bradley Doherty, you think Kid Galahad will beat Jazza? It's undercard for BJS. Yeah, I think he will. He beat him before, hasn't he? I think he will. I think he'll beat Jazza. Is it Jazza Dickens, right? Yeah, I think he'll beat him. I think he beat him. I think he's beaten before. He stopped him before, and I think he'll stop him again, to be honest. Who has a better chin than Gigi or Canelo? Danny Garcia? Danny Garcia has an unbelievable chin. Let's be honest. Garcia has one of the best chins in the business. Cal King's Boxing, how are you, brother? Dude's just waiting around for Canelo to collect all the Infinity Stones. Lol. Who? Mayweather. Who's waiting around for Canelo? Cal King's Boxing. Who's waiting around for Mayweather? Yes, Hachi Boxer. I hope you're well. I'm good. I hope you're well as well. Cal King's Boxing. Angel. Yep. Get the questions in, guys. Get the questions in. The more Dave Allen, best chin about, lol. Yeah, he has. He has got a very good chin, Dave Allen. He takes a, to be honest, it's good he's retired. That guy took a lot of punishment. He didn't have a lot of offense, right? He didn't throw a lot of punches, and he used to take a lot of punishment. So I'm glad the guy's retired, because taking that much punishment is not good for your health. Definitely not. Definitely not. So I'm glad that Dave Allen's done the right thing and retired, because you don't want to see someone like Dave Allen get injured or get hurt, because Dave Allen was a great guy, great fight. Listen, man, he did well. He did well in a couple of fights. He knocked out Lucas Brown. He knocked out Nick Webb. Fair play to the guy. The guy did all right. He did all right. So I think all respect to Dave Allen. He did well. He definitely did well. Chow King's Boxing, Charlo, Andre Plan, dude, not fighting each other. Yeah, they're not. You know what? This peeing me off, because all these guys need to fight one another. Why isn't Charlo fighting Andrade? Why isn't Charlo fighting Plant? Why is Charlo not fighting Benavidez? Those are great fights. Charlo v Benavidez. Why ain't that happening? Who wins? Conor Benn v Keith Thurman. I'm gonna go with Keith Thurman, man. Keith Thurman gave Pacquiao hell in his last fight. I'd definitely say that Keith Thurman right now is still too much for Conor Benn. Can't believe that Joe Fournier is fighting a pop star who's had no boxing experience. Joe Fournier is fighting a pop star who's had no boxing experience. They had a scuffle in a nightclub over a woman, and now fighting on Jake Paul under Jake Bill. Can't believe what's allowed to happen. Wow, I wasn't aware of that. I was not aware of that, Richard. Wow. Brendan Jackson, of course Canelo would win. Lol. Though I think Floyd will forever be faster than Canelo even now. Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think Canelo was saying that he would win now. I think what he was trying to say is that this version of Canelo, right? This version of Canelo with his boxing IQ, with his experience now, he could beat Mayweather. I think that's what he meant. I don't think he meant that he would, he would actually fight Mayweather now, because obviously Mayweather's 43 now, so he's old. So it wouldn't make sense. Why isn't Wilder fighting already? He's way too inactive. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Wilder, to be honest. Wilder needs to come back. He needs to fight. He needs to fight. Wilder's going down the wayside. Wilder needs to fight, man. We need to see Wilder in the ring. Should the Ben fight be stopped, or was it was a bit premature, wasn't it? It was a bit premature, in my opinion. In my opinion, that was really premature. I would have loved to see that fight go on a little bit longer, but the referee, he couldn't wait to jump in and stop that fight. Yeah, it was really premature. To be honest, when you look back at it, you think, nah, he could have given Vargas a standing 8 count, We had 4 undefeated champions at super middleweight, and none of them fought each other. Canelo about to clean house in 1 year. Yeah, I agree. And I think still people say Canelo's a cherry picker. How people see that, I don't know, but how Canelo's a cherry picker, God knows. What's happening with Wilder? Do you think he's winning this case against Fury? I don't know what's going on with Wilder. I don't know where he is. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with Wilder, to be honest with you. Guys, everyone in the live stream, smash that like button. Everyone in the live stream, smash that like button. What's happening with... Wow, okay. Well, that's what I assumed you meant, lol. No, not now. Could Wilder KO a prime Klitschko? Mayweather lost to Castillo. Yeah. A lot of people felt he did. I think Canelo meant was, if Canelo is as he is now, he would have fought Mayweather back then. He would have won. Yeah, that's what I meant. I want to see Amir Khan face Danny Garcia again to avenge his loss. He has the ability to beat him, but he just got caught with a good shot. Yeah, but I don't know whether this version of Amir Khan could, because Amir Khan's so inactive, and Danny Garcia, although he didn't look great against Spence, he still, went 12 rounds. He still looked like he's got stamina. He still look Amir Khan. I don't know whether he's got the stamina to do 12 rounds now. Yeah, mate. Joe Fournier, who's had about 9 fights, is fighting some pop star called Raycon, who's had no experience at all. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. How is that? How can something like that be sanctioned? A pro fighter who's had 8 or 9 fights has probably got amateur experience as well, going to fight a guy that's not a boxer. It's embarrassing. Mayweather destroyed Castillo in the rematch and doesn't fight like Canelo. Why bring that up? Yeah, Mayweather he did destroy Castillo in the rematch. He definitely did. Mayweather. Marlo Stanfield, how are you? Who would win in the current Canelo v Felix Trinidad fantasy fight? Canelo. Canelo for me is just Canelo's the best right now, man. I honestly, I think people don't understand how good Canelo is. Canelo is on another level for me. He's on another level. I think he's the best. I think he's one of the best. I think he's when he leaves the sport, he's gonna leave one of the best. He might not be. Soon you will see cricket players fighting in boxing rings. It's a joke. Yeah, possibly. I won't be surprised. Fight Gamer, hi, how are you? Yeah, man, boxing's becoming a little bit more of a bit of a joke. You know what I mean? With all these people fighting, but as long as they're fighting people of their own ability, it's not a problem. When you have pro fighters fighting pop stars and fighting, that's just not good, man. That's not good at all, to be honest with you. That's damaging for the sport, I would say. Someone gets hurt, just say someone gets knocked clean out and gets damaged. It's not good, is it? So yeah, back to you, Marlo. I think Canelo wins that against Felix Trinidad, to be honest. Um, yeah, I think Canelo. I think Canelo. I think if Gigi was younger, he would beat Canelo, give him hell. Yeah. Gigi was a great fighter though, man. There's no like Gigi was a special fighter. Great fighter. Unfortunately, he didn't like not other guys didn't want to fight him when he was in his prime. I think people were afraid of Gigi. What do you think of those veterans fighting like Cotto and Marquez and Barrera? I think they're all old, so it's not a problem them fighting each other. But again, a lot of people will be against it. A lot of people think that they could get hurt, and they are legends like Cotto, Marquez, and Barrera. What great fighters like Cotto, man! What a great fighter he was. Marquez, Barrera, blimey! Out of those three, who would you say is better? Cotto, Marquez, or Barrera? Would you say Barrera? I don't know, because Cotto for me was an absolute legend. Do you think Canelo has to fight at least one of the Charlos before he retires? Well, Jamel, sorry, is at 154. So that's not realistic right now. The only one that really makes sense is Jamal. And Jamal's resume, let's be honest, Marlo, it's not great at all, is it? He's beat Derevyanchenko. Did he beat Korobov? Do you think Korobov outboxed him in that fight? I don't know. Charlo's still got a lot to do, especially Jamal at 160. He needs to fight unification fights with Golovkin or Andrade. To be honest with you, Marlo, I think Andrade would beat Charlo. I think if Korobov was able to do what he did to Charlo, then what would what's his name, Andrade do? I don't know whether that would be a good fight for him personally, but good luck to Charlo, man. They bring good energy. Both brothers bring good energy to the sport. So yeah. I think Eric Morales was good, but was hyped a lot. Eric Morales was a great fighter. Barrera and Marquez were better than Cotto, do you reckon? I'm a Mexican and I'll say Cotto. I say Cotto as well, man. Cotto was an absolute beast. Absolute beast of a man. Can you ever imagine a boxer boxing in fasted state? That would be that would dangerous, man. That would be dangerous, Hachi. That would be very dangerous. Going to the gym in a fasted state is hard enough. Boxing, oof, that would be very difficult. Any news? I'm waiting on Pacquiao, Richard, myself. I don't know what's going on with Pacquiao. I don't know what is going on with Pacquiao. I think we're all waiting on Pacquiao's next move. Guys, everyone in the live stream, smash the like button. I'd appreciate if you smash that like button. His jab and footwork were excellent. Yeah, they were. Cotto was great fighter. What is going on with Manny Pacquiao? Do you reckon he's going to fight again, Manny? Do you think Manny will fight again, guys? I hope he does, man, because I love Manny Pacquiao, man. Hopefully Manny does fight again, but I'm not sure, I have my doubts with Manny, whether Manny's going to fight again. I don't know whether Manny's going to fight again, man. I hope he does. I hope Manny Pacquiao don't retire without giving us one last. Do you think he'll fight Terence Crawford? Do you think Manny Pacquiao will fight Terence Crawford, guys? Guys, do you think Manny will fight Terence Crawford? That would be what a way for Manny to go. Hell yeah, he will, bro. Hopefully, I would love to see Manny Pacquiao fight Crawford in a fight. That would be an excellent fight. Victor Terrones, great channel, my brother. Great channel, my brother from Texas. Thank you, Victor. I appreciate it. Thanks for the support. Maybe, but I don't think he should. Yeah. I know. I think I would like to see him fight like a Mikey. I'd like to see him fight Mikey, a bit of an easier touch, to be honest. Jaime Munguia v Demetrius Ballard. Is Ballard injured? Is off. Ballard is injured. Oh, not great news for Jaime, is it? TC beats Pacquiao. Possibly, yeah. You know, possibly, most likely. You know, Pacquiao's old now, man. Pacquiao's old. Marlo Stramfield. Pac is probably going to retire. If he was going to fight Bud, the fight would be signed already. Pac is probably going to retire. Yeah. Do you reckon he'll retire, or do you think he'll fight like a Mikey? I don't think he'll retire just yet. You know, I think there's still life in the great Manny Pacquiao. There's still life in him. I don't think he's going to retire, Marlo. I think Manny has got some fight left in him. Imagine, guys, imagine if Manny Pacquiao was to fight and beat Terence Crawford. Where would you rank Manny Pacquiao? Where would you rank Manny Pacquiao? Think about it. If he was to fight and beat Terence Crawford, where would you rank him? Crawford is dangerous. I don't like the way Manny was getting tagged with Thurman. Yeah, especially towards the end of that fight. He was getting tagged with some big shots. Thurman is a big puncher, though. Manny showed a good chin in that fight. Pacquiao always surprises and he never fails to let us down. He will beat Crawford. Mark my words. The Crawford fans will make excuses after the fight. Wow. That's a big statement, Hachi. I know you're a fan of Manny Pacquiao. I wouldn't favor Manny, but Manny can beat Crawford. He's very, very dangerous, Manny Pacquiao. I never write Manny Pacquiao off. Susceptible to getting hit with power shots. Yeah, definitely. Susceptible. Marlo says, Pac fighting Mikey is pointless, really. In what sense do you say it's pointless? Don't you think it's a good fight? I'd like 3 fights for Pacquiao. A warm-up fight against Mikey Garcia, because he's been out for 2 years. Yeah, I would agree. Then fight Spence and Crawford. Then retire. Can you imagine if he did and wins that, then retires? You want him to fight Spence and Crawford, or do you want him to fight one of them? Because I don't know whether he'll got 3 fights in him, man, especially at that kind of level. If Fury beats AJ, he will be in the top 3 pound for pound. Yeah, some people already have Fury in the top 10 pound for pound. But if he beats AJ, then yeah, definitely you have to put him up there. If Fury beats, okay, Fury in a recent interview said he stops AJ quicker than Wilder. I don't know about that. Possibly. I don't know. Thank you for the content. Fairly new to your channel, and it's awesome to find someone who keeps it down the middle. Yes, I appreciate it. I like to be as neutral as possible. Do you rank Manny Pacquiao higher than Floyd in the all-time rankings list? I don't know. It's a hard one, man. Put it this way. If he beats Crawford or one of Crawford or Spence, then yeah, definitely. As of right now, I don't know. It's hard because Floyd is undefeated and he beat Pacquiao. So I don't know. It's a hard one. I don't know where. Do you rank him higher than Floyd? Hachi, how do you rank Pacquiao and Floyd? Who do you rank higher? Who do you guys rank higher? Pacquiao or Floyd? Who do you prefer? Like, who do you think deserves to be ranked higher? Ikram Hussein, keep it up. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Who do you guys rank higher, Floyd or Pacquiao? Does anyone know why Thurman doesn't have a fight yet? Almost 2 years and still hasn't picked an opponent. Who wins, Thurman or Porter? Probably Porter, man. I don't know what Thurman's doing with himself. Thurman's been very disappointing. Ever since he became unified champion, you know, his career went downhill, man. Ever since he got married, you know, it's just not been the same, man. Thurman at one point I thought was going to become a pound for pounder. I thought this guy was destined for greatness, and then he just disappeared. Thurman has never looked the same. Shoulder surgery, and he was able to really get Manny. I would hate to see what Crawford would do with his footwork and angles and ability to change stance. Yeah, Thurman's been a big disappointment. You know, one of those guys that you thought, oh, this guy is going to be a big star. And then when he got to the top and became a unified champ, he just disappeared. And now, you know, after that injury, after we got injured, he just isn't the same fighter. You know, he hasn't showed the same kind of, the same kind of level that he hit, in the Garcia and Porter fights. Naime Sham says, sad to see DMX passing away. Yeah. He's a legend, really, wasn't he? Gonna give it to you. Gonna give it. That song was probably one of the most popular songs. You know, I remember that's literally an unbelievable tune. Christian Gallegos, Pacquiao in my top 15 and Floyd in my top 20. So Christian, what's your top 15? And what's your top 20? So you don't have neither Pacquiao or Floyd in your top 10. I have them both in my top 10. Richard Brown, both Spence and Crawford, but before he fights them, he needs at least one warm-up fight. Yeah, he does need one warm-up fight, to be honest with you. You know, Pacquiao can't be going into a Spence and Crawford fight, but I think he might do if the money's right. Bradley Doherty, when Ben chances against Porter, are these call-outs well over the top? Yeah, they are. Do you think Conor Benn can beat Sean? Apparently, Sean Porter's willing to come to the UK to fight Ben. I saw a boxing channel report the news that Sean. I don't know. I've not heard. I've not seen anything. Has Sean Porter said that he's willing to come to UK to fight Conor Benn? That would be massive. I think he'd beat Conor Benn, but do you think Conor Benn should take that? Do you think Conor Benn should take that bait and fight a Sean Porter? I don't think he should. If Pacquiao fights Crawford, wins or loses, he becomes a top 10 pound for pound GOAT. Fair enough. Thurman Power is overrated, man. He's not what his nickname suggests. Possibly, but he can definitely crack. He's explosive as well. Thing is with Thurman, he cracks. He's quite explosive. It's not necessarily the power, it's the explosive power. Guys, smash the like button. Everybody in the live stream, smash the like button. Let's get those likes up. Let's get those likes up, guys. Everyone in the live stream, smash the like button. Smash that like button, guys. Let's get those likes up. Smash the like button. Okay, so I think Pacquiao, I rank Pacquiao higher. The reason why is because Pacquiao came from flyweight. He went through 8 divisions. He came from nothing. He had no boxing background, etc. And I rank him higher. Wow. Yeah, possibly. Good point. Yeah, he is an 8-division world champion. Pound for pound, maybe, Pacquiao does deserve to be ranked higher than Floyd. But then Floyd did beat him and he was undefeated. So, I got a good one. Canelo v Prime Marvin Hagler fantasy fight. I got too much respect for Marvin Hagler. I'm going to go Marvin Hagler. Even though I think Canelo could beat him, I'm going to go Marvin Hagler. I think Marvin Hagler's pressure, Marvin Hagler's come forward style, Marvin Hagler's chin, probably one of the greatest chins in boxing history. I think he would walk him down and maybe dog him out. Who knows? But Canelo is a great fighter as well. But Marvin Hagler, he's a legend, man. He's a legend. And, rest easy, Marvin Hagler. Sugar Ray Robinson destroys Floyd and Pat-Man on the same night. Different eras, different times. Is Sugar Ray Robinson a more decorated fighter? Yes, I think he's given a lot more respect than those guys. I think Sugar Ray Robinson was an absolute animal as well. I've actually researched some of Sugar Ray Robinson's career, and wow, the guy had like 30 fights in 1 year. Unbelievable. The guy literally had like 20 something, I think something like that, something crazy in 1 year. In one of his years in his career, he had nearly 30 fights. The guy was next level, man. Conor Benn loses to Sean Porter. 100% loses to Sean Porter. Sean Porter is a beast of a man. He's a beast. He comes and brings it. He's a hard man. Marlo Stratfield, Hachi boxer, 7 divisions. Pacquiao never really had a fight at 154, so I don't know why you all count that. Yeah, but if you want a title at that weight class, come on. It's like saying Canelo. It's like saying Canelo's not a 4-division world champion because he never really fought at 175. but he's still a champion at that weight. You know, you have to give if he won a title at 175 or 154, sorry, then you have to give him that he was a champion at that weight. I know if he fought at that weight is irrelevant, but as long as he won, GGV Hagler. Oh, that's a hard one, but I go again Hagler, man. Hagler's a beast. I got too much respect for Marvin Hagler, man. Marvin Hagler was Marvin Hagler. He was one of the greats of all time. I agree, but not on the same night. Yeah, not on the same night. No chance. You know, you have to give Pacquiao Mayweather their respect. Mikey Garcia is still a good fighter. Not that long ago, he was in the top 10 pound for pound list and people rating him. And now he's lost to Spence. People's opinions change of Garcia v Pacquiao. Still in interest. You know what, Richard? That's boxing fans for you right there. You lose one fight and you become a bum. You know, and I don't understand why people think Mikey Garcia just beat Jesse Vargas. I swear it was at 154 as well. And look how Mikey Garcia is not a big 154 pounder, wasn't he? I'm pretty sure he fought Jesse Vargas at 154, right? And he beat him comfortably, really. I don't know why people lose one fight. He went up 2 weight classes to fight someone like Errol Spence, who's a beast, loses, and then all of a sudden he becomes useless. Come on, man. Come on. Give him the respect that he deserves. You know, people are just so easy calling people bums and all sorts. The guy deserves his credit, man. He's a top fighter, Mikey Garcia. You know, you don't just become a bum just because you lose a couple fights. Guys, smash that like button. Let's get those likes up. Smash that like button. Christian Gallegos in order. Robinson, Ali, Armstrong, Pep, Louis, Duran, Greb, Benny, Leonard, Ray Leonard, Jenny Turney, Chuck Dempsey, Jimmy Wild, Pacquiao, George Foreman, Isa Charles, Archie Moore, Floyd Hagler. It's a good list, man. That's a good list with some very decorated champions. Very, very decorated champions. Benny Leonard, Ray Leonard, Jenny Turney, Jack Dempsey, Jimmy Wild, Pacquiao, George Foreman, Ezra Charles, Archie Moore, Floyd Hagler. It's a great list, man. Christian, it's a great list. I'm pretty sure there'll be many that disagree with you, but it's a great list. It's a great list. You know, some people will say Floyd deserves to be higher. Some people have Floyd number 1. Did you see that list? I think it was BoxRec. BoxRec have Floyd number 1 of in history. They have him ranked the best. Porter and Ben fight would be like a dog chasing a cat. What do you mean? I hope you're calling Porter the dog and calling Ben the cat, because, you know, Porter is an absolute beast, you know. Jack Dempsey, what a fighter. Yeah, he was a great fighter, no doubt about it. Some of these old school fighters don't really get the credit. Mikey and Spence sold over 50K tickets. I went to that fight. Once you see the drawing power of a fighter, you get an idea of what really gets fights made. Yeah. Mikey Garcia and Spence was a big fight. And, you know, I think Spence has like benefited off that. He's definitely benefited off that 100%. Because Mikey Garcia brought a huge fan base to that fight. And Mikey Garcia is, you know, Mikey Garcia brings a huge fan base, to be honest with you. Christian Gallegos. BoxRec is crazy. It sure is. BoxRec, some of their rankings, they had like Wilder and Povetkin ranked in the top 10 pound for pound. Of course, Porter is the dog, yeah. I thought so. Back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, nobody cared about being undefeated. They were all worried about fighting each other. No ducking. They won, they lost. You know what, Hatchie? I think even 10, 12 years ago, it wasn't like that. I don't think 10, 12 years ago, it was like about the undefeated stuff. I think since Floyd became, you know, Floyd's career started coming to an end, a lot of the fighters wanted, I want to be undefeated, not losing, padded records. And that's not good, man. That's not good. I'd rather see guys fight one another. And even if you lose, fair enough, you've lost. It doesn't matter. There's no shame in losing if you're losing to one of the best. Mayweather is a businessman. He's a great boxer, but he was also a very, very good businessman as well, without question. He definitely was. He was definitely a legendary fighter and businessman. Yeah, mate. One loss and they was no good. Lol. One loss means nothing. If you fight world class fighters, you win some, you lose some. That's the name of the game. It's better than going undefeated against nobodies. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Unfortunately, boxing fans don't think like that anymore. Boxing fans have started to think the way Mayweather thought. This is all because of Mayweather, because Mayweather was the face of boxing for so many years, and he was undefeated. And now everybody wants to be like Mayweather, but they don't understand that Mayweather was once in a generational talent. You don't get fighters like that come every day. You don't get fighters like Mayweather every time. Mayweather's Mayweather. Don't try to be like Mayweather. You know, Mayweather was something else. He was different, and I think there's too many people trying to be like Mayweather. Why do people say Mikey bent up 2 divisions to fight Spence? Wasn't Mikey IBF and lineal champion at 140 before he fought Spence? At the time, I'm pretty sure his fight before that was against Robert Easter, which was at 135, wasn't it? Did he fight Robert Easter at 135 the fight before? Let me get Mikey's record up. Let's get Mikey's record up, brother. Marla, I'm just going to get Mikey's record up for you now. So Mikey Garcia. So let's get his box rec out. So he fought Robert Easter for the world light title. World lightweight title, yeah. Yeah, so he was at 135. Let's see that bout. Yeah, it was at 135. His fight was at 135, that's why. Yeah, so he did move up 2 weight classes. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Bradley Doherty, Ben needs to fight David Avanesian. They didn't mention him, but they mentioned Khan. A lot of the others that Ben next fight for me. Yeah. You know why? Because Avanesian's more of a risk than Khan. Because Avanesian's active. Avanesian's he's a European champion, and they just saw him obliterate Josh Kelly. So I think Conor Ben's a little bit skeptical. Him and his team are a little bit skeptical to go near. They're skeptical to go near David Avanesian. Avanesian's a beast. Would you advise him to fight Avanesian if you were his manager, if you were Eddie Earn, or would you want to take a fight with Amir Khan, which is a bigger name, not as dangerous a fight anymore? Of course, listen, Khan in his prime is better than Avanesian, in my opinion. But obviously, right now, it's a bigger fight from a profile standpoint. It's a bigger money fight than David Avanesian. They didn't want to take Avanesian's name, but they took Porter's name, they took Broner's name, they took Amir Khan's name. 2 of those guys out of those 3 names that they mentioned, 2 of them are way, way past their best in Broner and Amir Khan. Broner and Amir Khan should be fighting one another, not fighting Ben. And Ben should be calling out, like, if he wants to fight Porter, who's a step up from David Avanesian, I've got no problem with that. But you need to fight David Avanesian, really. If you want to show that you're credible and you're a legitimate top fighter in the welterweight division. Say what you want. De La Hoya fought everyone in their prime. He sure did. De La Hoya was a beast. He fought Pacquiao in his prime. He fought Mayweather in his prime. He fought Bernard Hopkins. He fought Mosley. He fought everyone, man. He fought everyone. You know what? De La Hoya was a great fighter. De La Hoya started struggling at welterweight. That's when he started to struggle. But if you look at his career, when he moved up weight classes, he was battering guys. He was boshing guys. De La Hoya smashed it coming through the weights. He was beating, like, literally walking through the weights. It's only when he got to 147 where De La Hoya started to struggle, really. Foreman v. Wilde is arguably the best fight in all boxing, top 3 for sure, yeah. Virgil Ortiz v. Conor Ben. Virgil Ortiz wins that fight, and they won't want to make that fight right now. Foreman v. Lyle. Foreman, great fight. Mikey before Spence was 135 pounds. Before Spence, he was 100. Yeah, he was. Yeah, that's what I said. My top 10: Ali, Robinson, Floyd, Jones, Foreman, Hagler, Pacquiao, Louis. Holmes, Leonard. That Larry Holmes. And is that Sugar Ray Leonard? Mikey fought Vargas at 147. Oh, did he? Did he fight Vargas at 147? Okay, I thought it was 154. Float like a bee, sting like a butterfly. 100%. Guys, smash that like button, guys. Everyone in the live stream, smash the like button. I'd appreciate everyone in the live stream. Smash that like button. Let's get those likes up to 30 likes. How can you put Roy Jones in the top 10 after the way he lost to Tarver and Glenn Johnson? Marlo, Roy Jones was an unbelievable talent in his prime, man. He was an unbelievable talent. What a fighter he was. A legendary fighter. Roy Jones was special. But again, everyone has their own opinion. Marlo, give your list. Tito Trinidad. Yeah, great fighter as well, Tito. So Eco Corti, Trinidad, Vargas, Mosley. Canelo v. De La Hoya, both in their primes. Who wins 154 catch weight? I think Canelo, man. Canelo beats De La Hoya. De La Hoya, like I said, when he got to 147, he started to struggle. Thoughts on Shane Mosley, Imran? Shane Mosley's a legend, man. Shane Mosley's a great fighter. What a career. He beat Oscar De La Hoya. Didn't he beat Oscar twice? Again, let's get Shane's record up. Let's get Shane Mosley's record up there. But Shane Mosley, guys, he had 60 fights, 1 draw, 49 wins, 10 losses, right? So his last fight was against David Avanesian, right? Where he lost by unanimous decision. But let's be honest, he was way, way past it. He beat Patrick Lopez. Let's see some of his great wins. So Pablo Cesar Carnu beat him. That's expected. He lost to Manny Pacquiao, lost to Canelo Alvarez, but, you know, he was kind of past it. He drew against Sergio Mora, lost to Floyd Mayweather. He beat Antonio Margarito. He beat Ricardo Mayorga. He lost to Miguel Cotto, but no shame in that. He beat Luis Collazo. He beat Fernando Vargas twice and stopped him. He beat David Estrada. He beat Oscar De La Hoya by unanimous decision. He beat Vernon Forrest. Oh, no, sorry, lost to Vernon Forrest twice. But Vernon Forrest was a very, very good fighter. He beat Oscar De La Hoya by split decision. John Molina. He's got a good record, mate. Good record, man. Beat some good fighters. You know, beat De La Hoya. You'd probably have to say De La Hoya was his best win. You know, but he has lost a few fights, but definitely he's a great fighter. Yeah, he was a great fighter. Shane Mosley. I think, like I said, for me, Miguel Cotto was unbelievable, if I'm honest with you. Miguel Cotto was like one of my favorites. I don't think he gets the credit. Roy Jones was the art of boxing. Yeah, he was a great fighter. Yeah, he beat Oscar 2 times. Yeah. Christian Gallegos, Mosley beat Oscar twice. But the second fight, a lot of people thought Oscar won. Yeah. To be honest, they were both close fights. The first one was a split decision as well. I know the fight before Spence, Mikey fought at 135, but he already had been a champion at 140. Also, saying he came up from 2weight implies he never fought above 135. Yeah, but yeah, I get your point. I get your point. But I just think personally, Marlo, that I don't really think Mikey Garcia 140 pounder. Yeah, he did manage to win belts there. Because Mikey Garcia is such an exceptional fighter. But I think 147, he's not a 147-pound fighter. I think that weight class is too, for me, that weight class is probably a little bit too big for him, you know. I think the guys there are just a little bit too big. But again, there's no shame. There's no shame in losing to Errol Spence. There's no shame at all losing to Errol Spence at all. Errol Spence was a beast. All right, okay. Pac-Man v Mayweather, GOAT still. Yeah. That was a very poor fight, though. You know, I expected a much better fight. Agree with you. Miguel Cotto, one of my all-time favorites. Yeah, he was. He's a legendary fighter. You know, Miguel Cotto was a guy that's probably a little underappreciated, to be honest with you. I think Miguel Cotto could really fight. But again, you know, I think when, you know, a lot of people really annoys me, and I wanted to mention this to you guys, that a lot of people always say that, you know what, this guy lost to the best guys he fought. You could say that about everybody, right? Someone was saying that about Amir Khan the other day, and I was like, listen, mate. I was like, if you go through anyone's resume, like we went through Shane Mosley's resume just right now, Shane Mosley lost to the best guys he fought. If you go through Amir's resume, he lost to the best guys he fought. If you go through Oscar De La Hoya's resume, he lost to the best guys he fought. If you go through Miguel Cotto's resume, he lost to the best guys he fought. He lost to Mayweather, Pacquiao, and Canelo. But that's not how you judge people. They've also had a lot of other good wins and a lot of other good fights. If you're going to just go through their resume and say they lost to the best guys that they fought, then that's just nonsense. That's just nonsense. Come on. You know, that's just nonsense. It's just a load of nonsense, man. I don't know why a lot of people do that, to be honest with you. Or, you know, it's just nonsense. Top 10 pound for pound today. I have Canelo, Inoue, Crawford, Teofimo, Usyk, Estrada, Taylor, Ioko, Jamal Charlo, and that order. Yeah, it's a good list, man. Very good list. Very good list. I would probably put Crawford at 2. I think I'd put Crawford at number 2 and then put Inoue 3, then put Teofimo. I can't believe you don't have Lomachenko in there. One loss and he's out of the pound for pound list. I don't understand that. I'll bet you Mikey is gonna want to fight Ennis, but now he's the talk of the town. Listen, Ennis is special, man. Ennis is special, guys. Don't get it twisted. Ennis is special. You know, Ennis is definitely a special fighter. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it at all. Ennis is definitely a special fighter. You know? So, personally, you know, I think Ennis could be a problem for all of these guys. Ennis, for me, I think Ennis is a star. Ennis is a very good fighter. I was really impressed with Ennis. Very impressed. But Matthew Martinez, if I was Mikey, I'd stay away from Ennis. You know, Mikey's an intelligent guy, a good fighter, but you got to stay away from Ennis. You got to stay away from Ennis. Because Ennis is an absolute animal. Is Audley Harrison the worst professional fighter to win a gold at the Olympics? I don't know. Possibly, you know. But I'm disappointed about Audley's career. I think it could have been a lot better. But I just think he maybe missed something. I was actually talking about it the other day, actually, about Audley Harrison. You know, that why Audley should have probably achieved more. Rocky Marciano ahead of Roy Jones. Yeah, I think a lot of people. Rocky Marciano was undefeated, good fighter. But again, everyone has their opinion. Victor Torrenes, the best thing I like is Canelo on DAZN. Why? Because it's not you don't have to pay pay-per-view. Robert Harrison, besides Wembley, where would you want Fury AJ to fight to be? Let's be honest, it's not going to happen at Wembley. It's more likely going to happen in Saudi Arabia. To be honest, I wouldn't mind Saudi Arabia. I'll tell you why. Because the timing fits the UK time. So it'll be at 9, 10 o'clock. I think Frank Warren has come out today and said that the fight will happen at prime UK time, no matter where it happens, which is obviously good news. I meant Jamel. Jamel, not Jamal. Yeah, Jamel. What about Loma? Who is the most overrated fighter of all time, and who is the most underrated fighter of all time? That's a hard question. That is a hard question. Who is the most overrated fighter of all time? Wow. I don't know. I don't know, Hachi. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who's the most overrated. I don't know. I think that's really harsh to call somebody overrated. Who do you think? Who's your most overrated and underrated fighter? Name it, Sham. Yes, Marciano with 49-0, 43 knockouts. His knockout percentage is second to none. Roy Jones suffered 2 of the worst knockouts in boxing history. Everyone has their opinion. Marciano fought tomato cans, lol. Can't wait for Canelo to KO Charlo. Rodolfo Gutierrez, it's nice to have you in the chat, brother. Yeah, I want to see Canelo v Charlo. I think, you know what? Canelo v Charlo is big over there in the US and people want to see it. Over here in the UK, BJ, you know, we're happy with that. BJS has got the fight. BJS underrated. I don't think BJS is underrated, to be honest. I just don't think people think he's done a lot yet because of his competition. Ennis will beat Crawford and Spence 100%. Ooh, Ikram, that's a big. That's big. That's big. That's definitely a big thing to say. I don't know. I don't know about that. I do not know about that. That's a big thing to say. That's definitely a big thing to say, you know? I don't know about that. It's a hard one. It's hard, definitely hard to say. It's hard to say. Floyd is the most overrated and underrated at the same time. Too many fanboys, haters on this guy. Yeah. He has too many haters, yeah, for sure. Lomachenko ranked 1 pound for pound with a 14-1 record. Lomachenko has got to be the most overrated ever. But remember, Pacquiao v Ennis right now, who you got? I'd have to go Pacquiao just because of the experience. Ennis needs to fight a lot more top guys, but Ennis is really good. You know, and I don't think the Pacquiao fight makes sense. Why would Pacquiao fight Ennis? I don't think that fight would happen. I'm getting nervous for the Canelo fight. Saunders is freaking slick and savvy. Is he? We'll have to find out. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. We'll have to see for sure. We'll have to see. Thank you, Huzaifa Zaidi, for the super chat. Appreciate it. Mike Tyson is probably the second most overrated after Lomachenko. Naeem said he can't beat Crawford or Spence on the worst night. Mike Tyson is probably the second most overrated after Lomachenko. Yep. Appreciate that. Naeem Sham, he can't beat Crawford or Spence on the worst night. Yeah, it's too early yet, but I think he's definitely a problem. He's definitely a problem without question. He's definitely a problem. He's definitely going to be difficult to beat. He can't beat Crawford or Spence on the worst night. Loma is a top pound for pound fighter, but a loss gets you out of there when it's undisputed. Once he beats Nakatani, he goes back in the top 10. Most skillful fighter I've seen him since. Who was it that just said Ennis is not proven at all? No. Who was it that just said he's the most overrated? Lomachenko, ranked number 1 pound for pound with 14-1 record. Lomachenko has got to be the overrated. Marlo, come on. You know better than that. You know better than that, Marlo. Quickest 3-weight world champion in history of boxing. Surely you don't believe that. Surely you believe. Come on. You got to put more respect on Loma's name than that. Loma's, for me, a great fighter. Honestly, I love Lomachenko. I think he's a great fighter. Loma is a top pound for pound fighter, but a loss gets you out of there when it's undisputed. Once he beats Nakatani, he goes, yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, fair enough. That's not a bad way to look at it. I still think I love Lomachenko. I think he's a great fighter. I think he's a bit underappreciated. Some people, think that he's a bit overrated, but 3-weight division world champion in such a short space of time. 400 amateur fights, 399 wins, and that one loss he did have, he avenged it 5 times. I don't really think you can give the guy, hey, I think he's a special talent. He definitely is. Definitely is. So, yeah, I think he's definitely a great fighter. Loma was the best, but too short for 135. Yeah, he's not the physically the biggest, is he? Lomachenko, but definitely a great fighter. Not enough fights. How are you number 1 pound for pound with a 14-1 record? I just can't see it. Yeah, possibly. I agree with that. Maybe, but he definitely top 10 pound for pound, 3 division world champion, and he won world titles in like under 10 fights. Like, that's unheard of in boxing. Safe, bro. I'm gonna go chat soon. Yeah, take care, Naima. I'll see you soon. I'm gonna do another live stream on Friday. I'm gonna be going very soon as well. I'm tired. I've got to get up early, go fasting as well. So I've got to go. I want to go sleep soon. So cheers for that, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, in terms of, I think Wilder might be the one of the most overrated boxers today. Possibly. I think Wilder's got a lot of power though, so he has got the equalizer. He's got a lot of snap in his punches. He's definitely a great fighter. I think Wilder is definitely something, he's unique. Wilder, he's definitely a unique fighter, a unique champion, a unique fighter, a guy that's, for me, it's a bit like Marmite Wilder. He has a lot of fans, and he has a lot of fans that really look up to him and love him. But then he also has a lot of fans that think that, you know what, this guy's not very good. So I think Wilder's like 50-50. Like, some people think he's really good, some people think he's not that good. So it just depends really. But I do like Wilder. I think Wilder's very exciting, and he's definitely a good fighter. I've rated him. I rate Wilder. I can't believe you ain't got Fury in that. Fury in what? In the top 10 pound for pound list. Yeah. I think Fury, man, he's a great fighter. He should be in the top 10 pound for pound. Without question. Fury, for me, is special. I've always rated Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, for me, is one of the best out there today, especially heavyweight. He's the best heavyweight in the world. Is Andrade overrated? Only time will tell. Only time will tell. I can't really say if Andrade is overrated because I don't really know. Who should Khan fight next? Broner or Brook? They're the fights that I'd like to see. Broner or Brook. I think those fights make sense for him. I think he should take those fights and then retire happily. That's what I think anyway. I think he should take those fights and then retire happily ever after. He's had a good career. He's had one to be proud of. And I think, listen, man, at the end of the day, he's been a champion. He needs to now think about life after boxing, and what he's going to do after, so that's what I think he should do. Heavyweights don't go on the pound for pound. That's the reason pound for pound was made. They are, though. They are heavyweights. Klitschko was on the top 10 pound for pound list. Lewis was. There's many heavyweights that go on the pound for pound list. Khan v Mikey would be a good fight for Mikey. Yeah, it would be. It would be. In Khan's prime, I would have favored Khan in that one, to be honest. I think now Mikey beats him. But in Khan's prime, Marlo, who would you think? Khan at 140 in his prime, when he was a unified champion, when he beat Maidana and that against Mikey, who do you think wins? Who do you guys think wins? Khan at 140 pounds when he beat Maidana, beat Zab Judah against Mikey Garcia. Who do you think wins that? Who is the most overrated popular fighter in the world? Canelo or AJ? Who's the most popular fighter in the world? Canelo. I would say Canelo. Say Canelo. Are you going live for Williams? Yeah, I will be. I will be. Hopefully, yeah. I'll be going live for Williams, yeah. Khan points outboxes him. Fair enough. What about the rest of you? What do you think? Khan v Mikey at 140. Khan v a split decision. Fair enough. Fair enough. That would be a great fight, you know. You know what disappoints me? That Khan's past his best now. But if he was in his prime right now, imagine how many great fights could have been made. Like with him and like even likes of like Thurman, Porter. He could have fought those guys in like near around his prime as well. But he chose not to. He's just waiting for Mayweather. But even at 140, for example, there's Taylor, there's all those guys, man. It would be great fights. It's sad that sometimes you just come at the wrong time, you know? Even though at that time, because really the super fights for him at that point were like Mayweather and Pacquiao, but they probably didn't want those fights. John Ryder v. Andrade, who wins? Andrade, man. Andrade. I think Williams would beat John Ryder, personally. I think Williams would beat John Ryder. You know, so I'd have to go Andrade, man. Like I said, I don't know about Andrade. Like you said, he might be overrated. We don't know because his level of opposition hasn't been great, has it? If we're honest. Has Andrade's level of competition been that great? No. Do you think Maidana... Oh, man. One of my favorite fighters, Marcus Alcino Maidana. What a fighter he was. Oh, man, I miss that guy, man. I miss that guy. What a fighter he was. You know, he was a proper throwback fighter. You know what? He wasn't politically connected fighter, you know, and he was always like getting fights on short notice, and he'd come in and like what he did with Adrian Broner, he battered him. He absolutely obliterated Adrian Broner. One of my favorite fighters, Marcus Maidana. And you know what? Actually, people give him a lot of respect now. Very tough guy, great chin, relentless. I would have loved to have seen Maidana against like Spence, Maidana against Crawford. How do you think that one goes? Maidana in his prime against Crawford. Oh, what a fight that would have been. How's it going, Ahmed? I think Maidana definitely retired too soon. I think Maidana could have given these champions hell fire. Honestly, Maidana was a great fighter. Great fighter. A prime Khan would box circles around Mikey and beat him similar to how he did to Maidana, but even worse. You know, Mikey's a good fighter, though. Mikey's got a laser-like right hand. Joe Calzaghe v. Roy Jones Jr. I'd have to go Roy Jones. I don't know if anyone could beat a prime Roy Jones, if I'm honest with you. Maidana had 2 good paydays put on weight and retired, yeah. Sad, really, because I think Maidana had so much more to offer to the sport. Maidana could have done so much more, but unfortunately, it is what it is. Maidana was definitely one of my favorite fighters, without question. Without question, Maidana was a beast. Beast. Crawford would beat Maidana, yeah, most likely. But I still think Maidana would give him hell, though. Maidana would give Crawford hell, fire. He would give Crawford hell, fire. Look what he gave Mayweather. Look what he gave Khan. He would give them guys hell, fire. And Marlow, yes, Maidana was a bull. He definitely was. He would give them hell, fire. He retired too early. His fight with Khan, right, was probably one of the best fights I ever saw. Ever saw. What a fight. Maidana came back from the first round. Khan hit him with a shot that I don't think most fighters would have got from. That was a horrible liver shot. Horrible liver shot. And Maidana got back up and gave Khan hell fire. in that fight. Almost stopped him in the 10th round. Prime Maidana v Prime Mayorga might be the greatest fight ever. Yeah, I'd say Maidana, to be honest. Mayorga was a tough guy as well. You know, but Maidana was a very mean guy. Eric Morales gave Maidana hell with one eye after his prime and beat Patman. Eric Morales was a great though, wasn't he? Khan still got a bit of time left. If he got his act together, only 34 could look Patman. Khan could be at least few years left if he gets act together now, but he'd have to do it now or never. Yeah, I agree with you. I'd agree with you there. He'd have to get his act together. But I just don't know. I think there's too many things out of boxing. Frank Warren v Barry Hearn. I don't know. I think Frank Warren's got a little bit more left than Barry. I think Frank still looks good to me, whereas Barry looks a bit more frail now. But yeah, that'll be a good fight. You know, I don't think that fight would get sanctioned though, would it? Yeah, but both great promoters, man. Both did great things. Canelo for sure would beat Mayweather in 2021. Yeah. Yeah, he would for sure, Jessica. 100%. Mayweather's too old now. He's too old. He's past his best, but nevertheless, Mayweather was a legend, a legendary fighter, and deserves a lot of credit. He deserves a lot of respect, without question. So, Junior Ruiz, how are you? I asked you what two things what about Canelo. So, how are you? I'm good, Junior Ruiz. How are you? How are you? I asked you what two things were what about Canelo v what how are you? I asked you what two things what about Canelo v Oscar De La Hoya? Yeah, I think Canelo's too big for Oscar De La Hoya. I think Canelo hits very hard, body shots. He's got a great chin. I'm not sure Oscar would be able to keep someone like Canelo off of him. What about Canelo to get to revenge for Floyd? Think it happened. It's too late now. It can't happen now, to be honest. I think I think Canelo now would have given Mayweather more trouble, yes, if that's what you're asking. Canelo's an absolute beast now. So yeah, he would definitely give him a lot more trouble now. What about Canelo to get revenge on Floyd? I don't think that fight happens. Canelo definitely will. Floyd is overrated. Tech 72. How are you? Canelo will definitely will. Floyd is overrated. Oh, overrated. There's too many. Floyd has. Yeah, I think Jake Paul v Amir Khan. Who wins in an exhibition? Oh man, boxer, of course. Amir Khan would destroy Jake Paul. Yeah, Amir Khan would destroy Jake Paul, no question about it. Hopkins v Canelo and GG at middleweight at his best. Hopkins, I think Canelo beats Hopkins, and I think GG beat Hopkins as well. I just like Canelo and GGG. I think they're, for me, I would favor them. I would favor them over Hopkins. Christian Gallegos, Robert Duran v Mayweather at 135. At the fight I want to see hypothetically. Mayweather. I'd go Mayweather. I think Mayweather's too cute. I think Mayweather's too slick. I think Mayweather wins that. Anybody ever see Max Bear fight? Nope. Robert, Max Bear. Aftec I 72. I agree. The only good thing Floyd had was a defense and timing. That is it. Canelo will knock out Saunders in the 9th round, possibly, most likely. I think Canelo will knock Saunders out late, but who knows? Prime Canelo, prime Mayweather, or the simple reason Canelo will be fighting at 168 and Floyd will be at 147. Yeah, it's a silly comparison, really. That's why I don't know why people love talking about that. Canelo Alvarez knocked Billy Joe out in any 10 rounds. Any 10 rounds. Yeah, I think Canelo will stop Billy Joe late, Junior. Canelo Alvarez is going to knock Billy Joe Saunders out in the 10th round, May the 8th. Good prediction. I think it's going to be late. But I think he will stop him. That's my take. I think he will stop him late. Nobody beats Duran at 135. You know that Floyd at 135 wasn't as slick and took more risks. I don't know, man. I don't know. Floyd is Floyd, man. It's hard to beat that guy. 100% topic. Lopez v. Davis. Who wins? Lopez. I'm going Lopez. Who do you think wins? I think Lopez is very big at the weight and he punches very hard. I think that would be a dangerous fight for Davis. And Davis gets hit a lot. His defense isn't that great. People underestimate Saunders. I think it may be closer than people think. Yeah, possibly. Floyd at 130 and 135 was untouchable. Yeah, Floyd was a master. He was a master. When Canelo Alvarez became the first undisputed at 168, what about the undisputed at 60 in the middleweight division? They have unfinished business. Yeah, so Canelo may go down and clean up there as well. He may go down there and clean up there as well. You know, let's see what Canelo does. Let's see what Canelo does once he becomes undisputed. I'd prefer him to go up and fight Beterbiev, if I'm honest. That's what I would prefer him to do. But I'm not sure whether he's going to do that. To be honest with you. But we'll see. Guys, I'm just probably going to end it here now. What I was going to say, that on Friday, I'll be doing a live stream. My next live stream will be on Friday. And then hopefully I'll do one on Saturday morning for the Andrade and Williams fight. But I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. I'm sorry it was only a short one, 1 hour and 30 minutes. But hopefully Friday we can do it a bit longer. But I hope you guys... Can you see me and Salman, your buddy, celebrating on here? BJS wins. Yeah. Let's see if you get it right. Let's see if Billy Joe can pull off the shot. It's going to be difficult though against someone as good as Canelo. But my brother's he's picking Canelo. Yeah, you're right. He's picking Billy to win, just like you are, Robert. But it's going to be hard, man. It's going to be hard. Canelo getting him out early. I don't know about early. Richard Brown. See you later, Richard. Take care. Take care, everybody. And I'll hopefully see you guys. Remember on Friday around 8, 8:30, 9. I reckon 9 might be a good time. See you on Friday, Hachi Boxer. I'll see you all on Friday. Or make sure you all turn up Friday, probably around 8:30, 9. And I'll let you guys know in advance anyway. But yeah, everyone take care. Take care of yourselves. And I'll hopefully see all of you on Friday. See you later, guys.